In continuation of the third part of this documentary, I do apologize. My brand new Canon SX130IS PowerShot camera drained his new set of batteries in not even 20 minutes of video. So, to finish up here, showing you guys a few glimpses of my record book. Yes, I record every water change. 2 tablespoons of Kent, Zoe. If anybody noticed the SS, that stood for C-Chem Stability, and which was to help expedite the bacteria cycle that took me 5 months to complete. Due to the lack of circulation in my aquarium, perhaps some noticed and wondered how I had any circulation. Well, eventually, any aquarium becomes established. I have proven that. Since July 19th, Flaps loved his mollies. They're more natural to their diet. Granted that mollies come from South America, or at least the ones sold in most pet stores, including Petco. But, he loved them. Tried a couple platies near the end of his life. One of them died. The other one is one of the 6 fish still alive. And of course the 5 babies. Molly's platy swordtail is very similar. I would think most Acrochordus granulatus that take mollies would take the other 2 as well. I have shown you 4 shed skins. 2 of them dried, fragile as can be. The 3rd skin laid out in the water with the hemipenes, and the 4th skin in a ball. In the 9 months and 5 days I had Flaps, he ate tons of fish, shed 4 times, gave me plenty of feces to clean up, and I'd have to say I succeeded keeping the species long term. At least I regard 9 months long term. Still feel like I did something wrong occasionally. Such little known about these snakes. Sad to say, some comes out of trial and error. But again, if this was a natural death, it makes it a very beautiful thing. I'd like everyone to believe that it was. 2 videos of him eating, the only known videos of this snake, this species eating, and another video of him just cruising around in his last days. I like to believe he was happy. Gave him plenty of dark refuge with 3 caves. Plenty of top vegetation. Couple plants that would go behind the driftwood. 1 suction cupped up a little. Another one kind of half submerged over here above the heater. Plenty of top vegetation contributing to his dark refuge, without hindering the flow too much. I would have liked the water level a little lower than 5.5 inches. But he was able to hunt just fine. There's one thing everybody interested in this species should know, as I address in my care sheet on Acrochordus.com, is that they cannot hunt in deeper waters. It needs to be kept shallow. Preferably no more than 4 inches if you can do it. It's tough with most filters and setups. The shallower the tank, the harder it is to set up. Keep the water fresh. Brackish is unnecessary. Keep the water warm, 86 to 88. Let your mollies acclimate for a half hour, 45 minutes, and they'll thrive. Black molly and marble molly have been here for over a month. 5 babies for a month and 1 day. As of the recording of this video. At the absolute lowest, 82 degrees. drops below 77, death is imminent. But 3 rules to keep in mind. Keep the aquarium shallow, no more than 5 inches I say if you have it set up like mine, otherwise 4 inches or even less. Keep the water warm, pushing 90, and keep it fresh. If you happen to obtain a specimen or specimen with white spot fungus, or your specimen or specimens develop it, well, seems the best medication, according to Chris Ramones, whose care sheet is also on Acrochordus.com, is to just do daily near 100% water changes. No medication. Just fresh, clean water daily seems to be the best medication. No med, the best med. And by the way, in season, I bought flaps about 6 mollies a week. They'd be gone by the following Tuesday. And Pecco would get more fish in. Feed him 6 more. And he'd have a feast. And the strip light, by the way, is a Zilla Slimline. Just changed the bulb the other week, too. Oh well. Great lighting. UVB, too. Of course, I do have the plastic protector on, which is creating too much of a glare. So, not really much UVB application. Zilla does state that you need to move the plastic protector. I don't believe it's necessary for an aquatic snake, though. Of course, most say it's not required for snakes, period. Though experiments have proven it increases breeding responses in some species. Getting back more to the point, again, this is a documentary of my male Acrochordus granulatus, commonly known as the banded elephant trunk snake, also the little file snake, and also the Indian wart snake. The smallest of 3 species comprising the genus. And I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Lily White, and again Chris Ramones on Acrochordus.com, as well as the host of the domain, which wasn't their information and help, don't think I would have succeeded with Acrochordus granulatus like I did. And this isn't the end. When ready, I will obtain more. One thing to keep in mind, to ensure any bit of success with this species, obtaining prime specimens, that means without white spot fungus, is key. Farewell, Flaps. You were a great snake. My favorite snake out of my personal 7. There looks to be a cloaca, by the way, people. I don't know how you would safely sex these snakes, keeping in mind that they do have a very weak muscle and bone structure out of the water. Sexing in the water would be quite tricky, I'd think. Thanks to Flaps shedding his hemipenes in 2 of his 4 sheds, so I knew he was a male. It is said that females are bigger, of course, as in most species of snakes, and a little duller. Males are the smaller ones and more vibrant. Some say it is significant enough difference to be considered sexually dimorphic. Compare the Langhai madagascariensis, or the leaf nose snakes of Madagascar, I wouldn't really say it's sexually dimorphic, but good enough. Anyway, farewell, Flaps. Rest in peace. You were an awesome snake.